Oh dear me. Hi guys, I'm Dean and welcome back to another edition of The Inebriologist. Yeah, so this week I'm going for, well, I kind of figured I've been doing a lot of Belgian beers lately, so I thought it'd be great just to break it up a little bit and go back to trying some German beers because I haven't tried them in a while. So this week I'll be going for Schneider Weisse TAP7. It's the original wheat beer that they do. I know the name has kind of changed a little bit over the years, but they say with the Schneider brewery, they have these little sort of names on them. So this is TAP7. They've got like TAP2, TAP3 and the rest of it. But this is the original wheat beer that they do. So I'll be looking forward to trying this because I haven't tried the Schneider wheat beers before, the Schneider Weisse. But yeah, looking forward to it. You know, it's one thing that the Germans do very well is just doing a really good solid wheat beer, especially if they have to work within the German purity law as well, which means that they can only use the 4 main ingredients for their beers and literally nothing else. Yeah, I'm not going to bother putting it up to the camera for the percentage of it anyway, because it's in very, very small writing, but it is 5.4%. Yeah, so as I said, I've never tried it, so time to get into a glass and see what we've got. Yeah, ignore that. It's slightly over-carbonated a bit, but it's okay. Right, so time to get into a glass and see what it looks like. Yeah, so there's a lot of carbonation in that. As you can see, it's just flat out. You can listen. I think you can listen to that. That's just flat out carbonation. It's just going nuts in there. But yeah, the colour, it's quite a hazy beer, and that's down to the wheat style beer that they've done. The colour on it is quite a nice sort of amber golden colour. It's also got that sort of rich sort of honey look to it as well, which is quite nice. But yeah, looks nice. Just to reiterate, you know, with these sort of German beers, you know, they only use 4 main ingredients due to their purity laws, so it'd be interesting to see what sort of flavours they can get out of it, you know. But I believe this beer in particular was first brewed back in 1872, I think it is. You know, still purity laws and everything going back from that, so for them to produce beers, you know, from way back then to now, which is very good. So yeah, it'd be pretty good. So time to have a smell. Yeah, it's got that sort of, again, with sort of the white beers or wheat beers that you get, you know, especially the German sort of style ones, there's a very sort of heavy clove presence to it. It's got that touch of banana, like a banana smell to it as well. But you know, it's down to the yeast that they use as well, which is you know, very particular. The yeast cultures, I suppose, they do use for, you know, depending from brewery to brewery, they're going to be completely different. So they can get like a particular type of flavour going in. But yeah, smells really nice. It's quite spicy. Smells, as I said, a bit banana-y, and cloves there as well with the spice coming through. So yeah, it's time to dive in and have a try. Cheers. Yeah, it's a very quaffable beer. I can picture a lot of people drinking this in vast quantities of it, or big quantities of this stuff, because it's very, very refreshing. It's not too heavy. It's the type of beer that you would drink. Like today, you know, it's been an absolutely gorgeous day outside. So yeah, I could picture myself drinking a few of these anyway, out in the sun. Yes, it's very nice. It's got that sort of, as I said, like a spicy sort of flavour coming through on it, and then there's a slight sort of hint of vanilla as well that does come through, but it's nowhere near like a bitter beer or anything like that, you know. I don't think they've probably used a lot of hops for the bittering, you know. They probably did a bit of a hop for, you know, they put some hops in towards the end of the boil just for a bit of aroma, but not a great deal really for like throughout the whole process, because that's when you tend to get really, really sort of bitter beers, is that when you've chucked a load of hops in at the beginning of the boil, that's how you get the really, really sort of quite bitter harsh qualities to a beer. So like when you get with some IPAs, for example, there's a lot of hops that'll go in to the beginning of the boil, and that's how you get that bitter sort of taste. But the longer you leave it for the boiling process, when you add the hops in towards the end, you get more of an aroma. But yeah, that's nice. I quite like that. Yeah, as I did pour it, I forgot to mention as well, there was a bit of a head to it, but not a lot. It's kind of gone down quite a bit now anyway, but it's still sort of carbonating quite a lot, if you could look through there. Yeah, carbonation's still going nuts in there. So I'm guessing this is a bottle conditioned beer as well, because I can see it's a lot cloudier in the bottom anyway, so if I do pour a little bit more of that. Yeah, definitely a bottle conditioned beer, because if you look at the that's a very hazy beer now, so any of the sediment that was in the bottle has pretty much all gone into the beer now, as well as the flavour, because a lot of people think that if you've got a bit of sediment on the bottom of a bottle, or chuck that away or whatever, you know, but because a lot of the sediment does keep all of its flavours, and it's got a lot of sort of like those impurities, but they're quite good impurities to have back into the beer. So that tastes a little bit more full-bodied than what it was earlier, because it was a bit thin when I was poured it and I had a bit of a drink, but now since I've added a bit more of the sediment back in, it's a bit more full-bodied now. So as I said, it's a nice sort of quaffable beer. I could taste a lot of orange peel off that as well, very sort of like a traditional, very similar to like what you get with the like the Belgian wheat beers, you know, where they do have that sort of orange peel, or like the orange oil that you get out of the peel. It's a little bit sweet, it's not overly sweet, but and I can't taste much of the alcohol. There's hardly any sort of alcohol through that. I think it's masked by probably like all the other spices and the other flavours in there, you know. Yeah, so it brings me on to the score. So this week I'm going to score this beer 3.5 out of 5. The reason being for that is, again, as I think I've mentioned before, the way I do sort of mark these beers down is that in the region of 3.5 upwards is usually very good. Oh, it's a very good standard of beer. Yeah, so I'm saying that it's, you know, it's not a mind-blowing beer or anything, but it's just a very nice, refreshing, quaffable beer to have on a summer's day. So yeah, it's very nice. I do like it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to more beer videos, and I'll see you very soon. Iechyd.